Welcome back to the Ross Bolen podcast. I am your host, here with Jared Borislow, a.k.a. J-Bone, and we should note up front, J-Bone lost his voice over the weekend.
Has anybody seen it?
But he's recovered it in enough to podcast.
Yeah, pretty honorable. You know, I'm not a hero for finding your dog. I'm a hero
for podcasting with us today.
With a voice that's like probably 40% different than normal.
He came in yesterday sounding like a 50-year cigarette smoker. I bet you ripped heaters this past weekend. I bet that's at least part of what happened, Jared.
I haven't ripped a heater in like at least 2 months.
Like you sounded like you went to some hipster concert and got too close to the stage and screamed the lyrics the entire time and ripped at least one heater. You smoked a heater.
I did recently go to a Killers concert.
Did you smoke a heater?
No, it's an indoor concert.
Would you admit to smoking a heater on the show?
Yes, I've smoked a cigarette.
You just have this squeaky clean image with your European F1 fans. You know?
Europeans smoke the most cigarettes, probably, per capita.
It's true. Was that on this show recently? We talked about how insane it is that people still smoke with the labels. Was that Patreon, maybe?
I think so, Patreon.
Who knows? Perhaps patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast.
I haven't smoked a cig since probably beginning of the year. Obviously I only do it if I'm drinking. I mean, I think that goes without saying because we talked about sober cig smoke. I don't even know any anymore.
Surely you would have admitted by now. We would have brought that up at some point. If Jared was just at the office every 30 minutes taking a cig break out back sober, we would have brought that up at some point.
I've got a
Roasted
question.
The shit out of you. Had an intervention probably.
Another comparison my voice has gotten less now than a day or two ago was to like the Jersey girl, right? Like a girl from New Jersey with a raspy voice.
Yeah, but Jersey girl sounds like that because she pounds liquor and rips heaters, dude.
Well, that was my question. Why is the Jersey rasp
associated with the Jersey girl?
Yeah, like what is it about the state of New Jersey that causes a girl's voice to be raspy in a way that's like kind of hot?
I don't know. What's curious to me is like, what is it about the raspy voice that makes it kind of hot?
I don't know.
Because it's a little more mannish. And is it just that, gayness coming out?
I don't know. I don't know what it is.
You know what I mean?
The raspy voice has always been interesting to me.
Same thing for like dudes who are attracted to really, manly set women. It's an interesting, I don't know. Nobody wants to talk about sexuality anymore. They're all scared of it. Because nobody wants to get in trouble. Barrett won't talk about it with me on the Game of Thrones show, where everybody's fucking and sucking.
There's a lot of fucking and sucking. Sometimes they go from the sucking right into the fucking. But anyways, yeah,
But nobody wants to upset people. I get it. It's fine.
Here's my voice.
It's fine.
I'll do my best.
I got in trouble for saying females several weeks ago. Not in trouble, but somebody got upset and said, you're not supposed to say that anymore. And I was like, I don't understand. I feel like we're a few years from me having to adapt that far down the line, like get that progressive, right? Like, let's just chill out. I'm doing all right.
I'm so progressive that I don't eat Campbell's soup anymore. I only eat Progresso.
Bella, don't trip over the...
Your dog almost tore down our entire setup.
Bruce and Bella are in the studio with us as per usual, but Bella was just chilling under the camera setup, the tripod that's pointed at me, and then tripped over one of the cords on her way back to the bed where her and Bruce are now peacefully sleeping together. It's very cute.
That could have cost thousands of dollars in damage.
I mean, it could have caused us to have to stop the show. Would have been this whole pain in the ass, Anyway, losing your voice for a podcaster is obviously not ideal. It's like if you were a painter and you lost your sight. Well, I guess Monet did. Monet did pretty well blind.
Did you fact check that?
Yeah. What do you mean fact check it?
Monet was blind?
You don't know that Monet painted blind?
No. I've even been to a Monet exhibit. I just thought he sucked.
No, he was blind as shit. He was all blurry. He was losing his fucking eyesight. You see the way he painted that same goddamn bridge with those lily pads in the water like 100 times or whatever. That was his whole fucking career. He was just like, this is it. This is the bridge I'm going to capture. This is what I'm going to focus on. I don't want to have to leave my house, so I just go out back. I paint the same bridge with the same pond and the same lily pads over and over the rest of my career. And over time, they got blurrier and blurrier because he was losing his sight. But they're beautiful. Like the blindest ones are the best ones. The ones where you could see the shittiest are my fave.
Huh.
You know?
I didn't know that.
My mom was in charge of art, or was one of the people in charge of art a la carte at St. Francis Episcopal Day School when I was growing up in Houston, Texas. And I learned a lot about art. I spent a lot of time in the art museum. I'm still a huge fan. We just have a shit art museum here in Austin. Everything cultural about this city is trash. No offense to the local Austinites. You know your culture was destroyed by the influx of douchebags like me. It's over here. You know that. Your culture's done with. Austin is a microcosm of American culture on the whole in that way. It's just fucked if you get too much of one thing. And that's what we've got going here.
Yeah, if you come to Austin for a weekend and you're like, wow, I want to move here. I want you to know that your life here will be nothing like your weekend here. Your life
That's
here.
Not how moving anywhere works. It's like how when you talk to people who live on the beach and they're like, yeah, but if you move here after a few years, it just, it's like living anywhere else. Life is life.
I grew up with a mile from the beach. You know how many times I went to the beach? Less times than somebody who probably went on vacation there for a couple weeks.
That's how it goes. It's like what I always tell people is like, look, I had this conversation a lot over the last couple years, ride sharing so much. It's like any city you live in, if you want to focus on all the negatives, it's easy to make it shitty because you get enough people together, really over a few thousand, and trust me, your city sucks in a lot of ways. But, as is the case with both of the places I've lived for many years, Houston and Austin, while there are plenty of bad things you can say about both places, overwhelmingly, I enjoy these places comparatively to most of the places I've visited, like if I was going to live there, right? Like I made a conscious decision to remain in Austin because I love it here. All of the flaws included, right? Like, but you have to be, what's the word I'm looking for?
Self-aware.
You have to be self-aware. And if you're an Austinite, you're aware that our culture has become Californication. It's a fucking Red Hot Chili Peppers song here, dude. It stinks. But I also told the story recently that kind of explains why I feel that way pretty heavily right now, which is when I went to that restaurant and had dinner. And out of the 10 people seated at my table, all 8 that weren't me and my wife were from California. It was crazy. Again, nothing against California, but your state, your culture's fucked too. Anyway, I guess the Monet comparison doesn't work, but it's like if you were the judge of a singing contest reality TV show and you lost your hearing because you couldn't do your job. That's my point. There we go.
Is that what happened to Randy Jackson?
Obscure analogy, but it's an accurate one to be sure. Randy Jackson.
Yeah.
What about Randy Jackson?
He's not on American Idol. Is that what happened to him? Did he lose his hearing and they kicked him off? I don't know. I'm just asking questions.
Now, to be clear, Randy Jackson is the name of the black dude with the bald head on American Idol, not a country singer.
Correct.
That's Travis Jackson, right?
No, what you're thinking of well, I mean, I don't even, who's Travis Jackson?
What am I thinking of, you sexy bitch?
You're thinking
Sounds like you're trying to talk me off right now, Jared.
Aren't you thinking of the Grand Ole Opry guy? Randy Travis?
Yes. Yeah. Are you sure his name's Randy Jackson?
Yes, Randy Jackson, dude. It's a no from me, dog. That's his catchphrase.
That's you're right.
That's his catchphrase.
Isn't he like a big Houston guy now or something?
I don't know.
Something about him clashed with my interests, and I can't remember what it is.
Oh, you wanted Clay Aiken to win.
No. Not clashed like in a bad way. Like we aligned somehow, and I was like, oh shit, Randy Jackson. Didn't know we had that in common, man. That's wild. It wasn't weight loss for all of you who are making Bill Chungus jokes right now. That wasn't. He lost weight.
Oh.
I lost weight. We both lost weight. Good for us.
What is Randy Jackson famous from?
American Idol.
No, but what he all the judges on American Idol were there for a reason. Like Paula
Yeah, but
Abdul.
you didn't know who he was before American Idol. Therefore, he wasn't famous before American Idol. Therefore, he is famous from American
to
Idol.
my generation, not to.
Well, in mine. He was a musician, singer, record producer, entrepreneur, and television personality.
Okay, yeah, but what was the thing?
What did he record or
Surely
produce?
he had a big thing.
It says Jackson began his career in the 1980s as a seasonal musician playing bass guitar for an array of jazz, pop, rock, and R&B performers.
Okay.
Shout out to Wikipedia, the world's
Okay.
encyclopedia.
But surely if you continue on like a couple sentences, you'll actually get to the thing that I'm wanting.
Man, it stinks that you're making me do this. Stop making me do work during work, Jared. He played on 3 albums for Jean-Luc Ponty and with the rock band Taxi. Is this fucking helping you, dude?
No.
TAXXI?
No.
Yeah, I didn't think so. From 1986 to 1987, he was a session musician for the rock group Journey.
What?
That's got to be it. Jackson played on Journey's 1986 album Raised on Radio. He moved to Italy in the 1980s, late 1980s, and played on a record by Italian pop star Zucchero. What the fuck did he play? Zucchero and the Randy Jackson Band. I don't understand what he played, though. Bass guitar. He looks like a bass guitarist. I could see him slapping the bass, you know?
Mm-hmm.
See old Randy slapping some bass out there.
Randy draft. Here we go. Fuck, marry, kill. Randy Marsh.
Okay.
Randy Jackson.
Okay.
Randy Travis.
Kill Randy Travis. So fucking easy. Not even a question. Marry. Which one is the American Idol one?
Randy Jackson.
Marry Randy Jackson because I feel like he'd treat me right. Well, no. I don't know. Yeah, god damn it. Do I have to fuck Randy Marsh now? He's a cartoon.
I mean, he produces a lot of
This is fine. Yes, I'll fuck Randy Marsh because that makes me into a cartoon to have to screw him. And that seems less, like it's going to clash with my real world sexuality.
I've seen the size of his loads and the size of his balls, and I don't think either of those is something you're prepared for.
Fair enough.
Okay, here's one. Fuck, marry, or kill. Randy Trimbacki from Watched Media.
What are you, 14? I was watching this clip of the new King of England passing over a black guy in a handshake line,
I saw that.
which might have been an honest mistake, but looked racist. And as a result of the combination of those two things, made for a hilarious clip and meme. Anyway, the point is, then later, I was watching Jalen Hurts, the Eagles quarterback, come out of the tunnel. And he just walked right past a big, fat, bald white man with his hand out, wanting a high five. And it made me think about how, like, no offense, I'm not slapping hands with a bunch of random-ass strangers in 2022 with how crazy the world is out there. Like, I don't put it past you or a government agent to put anthrax on your hands and then high-five me, you know? The Bruce experience made me regain faith in humanity, but not trust. Not enough to slap hands with the world anyway. My point is, I understand now athletes not high-fiving fans on their way out of the tunnel or like going back to the locker room. I used to just think they were assholes. Like, how much effort does it take to just look at somebody and like high-five them real quick or just slap hands passively as you jog by? But now that I've really thought about it and put myself in their shoes, it's like, nah, fuck that. Unless I'm wearing gloves. In that case, sure, maybe. But no. It's still a little weird for me, like, shaking hands with a whole bunch of people at a party. I'm like, well, my odds just went up huge. For the COVID thing, you know what I mean? Like, I know Biden just proclaimed that the pandemic is over, by the way, finally.
That's good.
He said we still have a COVID problem, but the pandemic is officially over. Which really, honestly, I know everybody's like, yeah, fuck you, Biden, we know. It still felt like that's a big moment. That's kind of like I was like, all right, we've been saying it's over for what, a year and a half? People started saying it was over way before it was actually over. So I was waiting for like the actual exclamation point of our POTUS saying the pandemic is over so that we have our date. And it was yesterday.
Yeah, I don't think the POTUS's word is what I'm trusting.
Or maybe it wasn't yesterday, but it was recently. Why not? You know how many things, you know how many checks and balances there have to be before that old man's allowed to say anything at this point?
Literally none, if you're following the whole Taiwan thing.
I'm not, which might explain why we feel differently. What happened?
Twice now, he has actively gone against what his administration's official stance was in saying that the United States would defend Taiwan with American soldiers if
I did see a headline about this, and I went, nope.
Yeah. So
not today, Satan.
Literally, that man says whatever he wants. So for all I know, COVID's about to come back worse.
That might be out of confusion, though, more than anything. Because he's so old.
I mean, yeah.
Like, my grandma sometimes says things she didn't quite mean to say. You know what I mean? Not very often. She's still very sharp in the mind. One of them.
Back
one
to
of the
shaking
two.
hands.
The other one says all types of things.
If you don't like shaking hands, Ross, you would hate to ride on a plane with that one guy. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his hand. I want to shake his. You don't know the reference. Russ is staring at me like usually Russ understands all the meme jokes I make. You've not seen this video?
No, but did you see the video of Ted Cruz getting accosted on an airline flight?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen that video?
No.
It was fucking amazing. It was like 3 days ago, recently. And this is fair play for the show.
Was he flying coach?
Ted Cruz is a huge fan of it. He was flying commercial.
But first class, I assume.
I think it was like a Southwest flight. I don't know.
What?
Yeah.
Was he flying Frontier?
Southwest doesn't have first class.
Did he pay for
Southwest?
The really big seat on Frontier?
I just assume he was in the normal. He looked like he was in the normal part of the passenger plane on a commercial flight. So I would say it was either a Southwest flight or he was in coach. But because he's Ted Cruz and flying in and out of Houston, I assume it was Southwest. But somebody starts peppering him with questions about like the Uvalde victims, which is like, I get it. I get the effort. You're like, oh my God, I've got Ted Cruz in a position where I can get him to answer for his fucking stupidity or whatever. And you think you're going to be a hero and get it on camera, but like you're also openly questioning a politician who's not totally responsible for a horrific event that took place, about that event and his response to it, sort of in a public setting, which is very uncomfortable. I'm not sure the discomfort you're creating is worth catching Ted Cruz on camera calling you a partisan. That was his response. He was like, "You're a partisan? That's okay. You're a partisan." Which means that you adhere to one party's,
I'm sure they had an issue with him probably not budging on gun control is what I imagine.
Yeah, but then he had some rebuttal about how he tried to pass the biggest gun safety bill in history and some Democrat shot it down. It was just this whole fucking thing, which is like, again, this video was a microcosm of where we're at. It was just like, oh my God, everybody's got...
Okay, my video is
Everybody's got their reasons, and their reasons are better than your reasons.
My video reference was way funnier.
Well, the video is funny. You haven't seen it.
No, but I can already tell because yours is only funny because of like the politics involved. Mine is funny.
Well, because it's Ted Cruz, and Ted Cruz is a humorous caricature of a politician in our country.
Okay.
Why yours is only funny if what?
Okay.
I haven't seen it, so it's not funny.
It is the best plane freakout video of all time. You like a good plane freakout.
Why is this? You've yet to describe what happens.
There's a old white man, presumably 6'7", just an absolute
huge dude. Okay.
Yes, and he gets
old. How old?
52.
So middle aged.
Yeah.
Old is like 70 plus.
But he's getting kicked off a plane for some reason, and he will not leave the plane. He's huge, so he's pushing away all the flight attendants. He will not leave the plane until he's allowed to shake the hand of the man who is presumably the reason he is being kicked off the plane.
Probably a guy he assaulted.
Probably a guy who complained how drunk this guy was. He's a really drunk guy. Really drunk old man. And the guy,
but why would you shake hands with that guy?
That's why it's so funny, because he goes,
I think it's because
I want to shake his hand.
I think it's because he assaulted him.
I don't know, but he's pushing past the flight attendants, and he the way he says it too. I want to shake his hand. If you have not seen this, go to YouTube, look up plane freakout shake hand.
You can literally just Google, I want to shake his hand, and it'll be the first thing that shows up. I want to shake your hand. And yeah, I've seen it, but that's how not funny it was. I didn't even remember it.
Nope. Everybody agrees it's good. Everybody tweet this video at Ross. Thank you.
But I have seen it. It would have been weird if I hadn't. No lie. That was a big one.
It was a big one.
There was a point when something went viral, everyone saw it. That's not the case anymore.
That was peak COVID.
I'm talking about before that even, years before that. Where it was like only X amount of stuff really went viral.
Oh, you mean like
Now it's like there's stuff, everything's going viral constantly and everybody sees it, or nobody sees. I don't feel like anybody sees everything, right? Because there's too much going viral all the time.
Grape smashing lady?
Things are much more targeted now, right? Where we all get these individually served up things that are viral for us, on our For You page or whatever. But like it used to be like everybody got this select menu of viral items.
The evolution of dance with Judson Lapely.
Yeah, like everybody saw that shit. Everybody, right?
Yeah. How about Charlie the Unicorn?
Charlie Bit My Finger was one of my faves.
David After Dentist.
David After Dentist is all time.
Dubai Was Lit.
Yeah, was that David?
No,
that was the other
not
one,
David,
right?
That was the other one.
Kids being filmed by their parents high as shit after dental like surgery was the best. That was a great trend.
So in saying that, you are if you really look into it, you just get entertainment out of high children.
I'm not saying that morally or ethically it's sound, but it is hilarious objectively.
Like the only reason why that is a funny video and not like a kind of sad video is because he had dental work done.
Well, it's because the drugs he took are legal.
Yeah, but what if
And given to him, administered by a doctor, so that he wouldn't experience trauma from having his fucking teeth ripped out.
But if
So it's like, yeah, everybody's that's what's beautiful about it. There's not very many times you're allowed to see somebody super fucking wasted, and it's okay that they're that wasted. Where in this case, you're like, it's fine. He just came out of the wisdom teeth surgery, so he's allowed to be so high that he doesn't know who his mom is. In my case, that's how it was for me. I didn't know who my mom was, and I tried to fight the nurse. And they put me in a wheelchair and wheeled me to my car while I cried. It was wild. You get me too fucked up, I just start crying. That's what happens.
Okay.
You give me those drugs, man. Speaking of which, when I got my fake tooth put in, shout out to Kind Bar for the 1/400th of the bill that they paid, the $500. When I got the fake tooth put in, they were giving me this drug. It was this little pill that I took 30 minutes before I got there. I had 2 procedures, right? One to get it out, one to put it in, I think, was the two different things. And
was it a jagged little pill?
It was, and whatever that was, man, that was tight.
What?
It's probably over the counter in Mexico.
No.
You know how in Mexico you can just buy crazy ass drugs?
Queen's Gambit.
Absolutely blows my mind. But still, though, Queen's Gambit's like in the 70s or whatever, and it's also a TV show. This is reality. I live in the real world, Jared. Queen's Gambit. You enjoy a good documentary. Who are you to make a Queen's Gambit reference?
I've actually read the book.
Anyway, I was in Mexico recently, and I saw 500 pharmacies, and it was something else. It's a whole different country, Mexico, if you didn't know. Whole different country. Speaking of sports, today's episode is brought to you by...
When were we talking about sports?
It was brought to you by MyBookie. Athletes slapping hands, I think.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Was what it was.
A good transition.
MyBookie. Winning season has officially returned. College football is back. The NFL is back. Football season has returned, baby. Let's go. Whether you're a seasoned bettor or first-timer, MyBookie gets you the most for your money with a double deposit bonus up to $1,000 when you use code RBP at sign-up with your first deposit. As I said, college football is back. NFL back. MLB regular season winding down. Playoffs are en route. It's happening. My favorite time of the year for betting. NBA just weeks away. Love betting on my Houston sports teams, but it makes watching even more fun.
I have a bet.
Watching is one thing. Watching with money on the line is a whole other thing. Get the blood pumping. Make me sweat. That's what I'm looking for. I've been hitting parlays, Jared. Seriously, 2 weeks into the NFL, I'm absolutely killing it. Killing it. It's a hot start. I got to maintain.
That's not how it works.
I got to keep the momentum. That is how it works.
I've got a pick. This is not financial advice. I'm not liable if you lose in any way because it is your decision at the end of the day.
Okay.
But the Wisconsin Badgers, you may know, had a large upset loss to Washington State 2 weeks ago. However, we are playing.
Oh my God, it's a homer pick. Fade this hard.
No.
Fade this so hard.
I would never normally pick Wisconsin to cover but it's a trap game for Ohio State. Ohio State, once a year, loses one of these trap games. We have not beat Ohio State since 2010.
Oh, God.
This is the year.
That's not making me more confident.
No, all the pressure's off because we already have our loss out of the way.
How many points are they giving you?
18.
Okay, so plus 18?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And our defense is incredible.
Thought you were going to say some dumbass J-Bone shit like, take the money line. It's like, dude,
no.
You
can take the money line.
I mean, if you want to be big balls about it, yeah, I guess.
But
anyway, look, it's simple. Yeah. If you're looking to bet college football this weekend, NFL, Major League Baseball playoffs, MMA, NBA, whatever sport you fancy, go to MyBookie. Let's say you deposit $250 to play with the code RBP. Well, then you're getting that amount doubled to $500. You will have twice as much to bet on your NFL team or horse racing or whatever you pick. Code RBP at mybookie.com to claim your deposit bonus, and you can use your funds to bet on as many individual games, contests, or props as you want. Team totals, predict the Super Bowl winner. Use the MyBookie prop builder to give yourself the edge you need to secure the bag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie. Code RBP. So today, I received in the mail this like GPS tracking 5G cell phone network equipped dog collar for Bruce. And he's not wearing it right now because it's quite bulky, and he's in the studio with us. Where the fuck's he going to go? But it's so we never have to relive Bruce's big adventure ever again, Hero Jared. And this thing is absolutely absurd. I can create safe zones. So like the Bolen Media House, if he exits the property, I immediately receive alerts. And it tracks him down to like the exact part of the house that he's in. Like it would be super easy to find him if he ever decided to go on another camping trip. I won't say the collar company because no free clout, cut the check. We're reaching out. But the thing is cool as shit. It's basically like a social network for dogs as well as a tracker. Like you can upload like a photo of Bruce in there and set up a profile, and he can like pick up hose and shit.
What?
Yeah, you can like swipe right.
To hump them?
Yeah, meet up for doggy dates. To breed. Make puppies.
I believe he's neutered.
He is, but he still tries to hump his sister. I've never seen him succeed. She just sits down.
Is he a Targaryen?
Definitely. In nature, he is.
Bruce Targaryen.
Kind of sounds tight, right?
Yeah.
I wonder if there was one. Maybe we'll meet him at
There's
some
a
point.
Jason Lannister, so why is there not a
Fucking
Bruce Targaryen?
Jason Lannister, man.
How do you think George R.R.
I
Martin
still can't believe that's real.
would spell Bruce?
If you haven't been listening to Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, you don't know about Jason Lannister. And you should be listening to Oysters, Clams, and Cockles.
It's true.
I don't know. Why would I give a shit what that fat fuck would think about my dog? You shouldn't be out judging people's dogs. You should be finishing those books. George R.R. Martin. What would George R.R. Martin think about Bruce?
I said, how would he spell his name?
Oh. That's a different question. Fuck you, Jared. Good question, Jared.
Thank you.
That's man, it would be like BREWCE.
No, that would be S-E.
S-E?
How do you spell Roose Bolton? Wasn't that R-O-O-S-E?
Bruce, maybe it would be BRUISE.
No, it would be B-R-O-O-S-E because Roose is Roose. And
BROOSE.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bruce,
Yeah. I like. Okay, that's your. What's the George R. R. Martin spelling of my name? It's just Roose, right? I'm just Roose.
you're just-
My name entirely in Westeros is Roose Bolton.
Yes.
What is yours? J-R. It's J-A-R-Y-D. Jared. And then, man, your last name is long as fuck. I'm not doing that.
I've
That
said
takes
this
way
before,
too
Ross.
much work, dude.
The name Ross Bolen is extremely similar to Roose Bolton, right? Ross
yeah.
Bolen. But then your co-host on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles is Barrett Dudley, which
Similar
is like
to
Barrett
Barrick
Dondarrion.
Dondarrion.
That's absurd.
Yeah. It's weird. We've pointed both of these things out on there over the years. It really is a weird coincidence. Why does mine have to be like a total piece of shit? Wasn't Bruce Bolton the real bad guy?
Roose Bolton was Ramsay's father, who was a very bad guy, yeah. But Barrick Dondarrion, very likable character.
Yeah. Anyway, listen to Oysters, Clams, and Cockles if you're watching House of the Dragon, #1 rated House of the Dragon podcast in the world. It's a good-looking collar, this dog collar I got for Bruce. It's blue, like his right eye. He's got 2 different color eyes, remember?
3 different color eyes.
Left eye is, what you talking about, his brown eye?
Yeah.
He's got 2 brown eyes then. Left eye's brown, behind brown, right eye brown, blue, excuse me. But this thing also functions as like a fitness tracking device for the dog. Like a Whoop band or, whatever wearable tech. There's 100 different versions. What are the other popular ones? Like a Fitbit, Apple Watch. I could never, I have an Apple Watch, man, but I can't make myself wear it. I don't like it. I don't like being notified. The technology is already overwhelming me. All right? I don't want more notifications. Please, God. No, who saw that coming? Back when notifications first became a thing. Oh, this is so nice. I know when to check these apps now. I know when I've got a new message. I cannot stand notifications anymore, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Or emails. Human communication is the only type I like now. Fucking speak to me with your mouth. But yeah, it tracks his steps and his sleep. So I guess I should have him wearing it all the time if we want to get accurate readings,
I mean,
But he's doing wearable tech more than me because I hate the Apple Watch.
I mean, you should probably have him wearing it all the time because what if he then runs away when he's not wearing it? So
I know obviously he's not wearing it right now because he can't run away physically. It's impossible.
But you're gonna put it on him right when we get out of the studio?
No, because he'll be in the in the Bolen Media house still. It's
You know,
like,
he's
where's he going to go? It's impossible.
He's always in the house till he's not.
But that's what I'm saying. It's more for like if I want to go on vacation, now I can put this thing on him and know, okay, it's all good. It's for peace of mind more than anything. That's the only time he's ever gone on an adventure.
Okay. There's no $sign on a peace of mind. This I've come to know.
No, it's like my favorite thing to spend money on. Are you serious?
And if you agree,
Peace of mind is my favorite thing to spend money on.
if you agree, take a fuck. What's the lyric?
If you agree, you should go to bolenmedia.com/shop and buy yourself a finishing cup now, because you'll have peace of mind that you always have somewhere to finish, and it's in your finishing cup.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking, that's not real, he's making a joke. Oh, yeah? Go to bolenmedia.com/shop and get yourself a finishing cup today. Want to know something really funny about the finishing cup, Jared?
We've already sold some.
And my wife made it. It's just funny. My wife
if people,
made the finishing cup.
If you don't remember, on the show, probably like 3 months ago, Ross invented something called the finishing cup,
Yeah.
which is
You finish in it.
well, okay.
It's
So
self-explanatory. You don't have to explain it. Don't be a child about it.
I believe
We're adults here.
I believe the backstory was this. You and I were talking about how if you have a roommate, odds are your roommate has come on every surface in your apartment.
On all of your stuff.
Yeah.
On all of your stuff. Everywhere.
And so the idea was that if you are going to drink, go get a glass of water. Odds are your roommate has already used the cup you're going to drink out of as a finishing cup, where he was having sex or masturbating and decided that for ease of cleanup or for ease of drinking, he came into the cup.
Yeah.
So this is a designated finishing cup.
It's so that you never have to choose again. I think I said his name too many times and he got freaked out. Bruce has jumped into my lap
Yeah, Bruce is sitting in your lap.
and
right
is
now.
now
He's shaking
a little bit. It's okay, buddy. What's wrong?
You did say his name quite a bit.
You don't like the finishing cup? Anyway, it's available now at bolenmedia.com/shop.
My number one recommendation is the Year of the Dog shirt because, again, I cannot believe how high quality that shirt is. It looks photorealistic.
Because she took a photo, my wife did, and she used some graphic program to turn the photo into what looks like art. Like one of those, it's basically, you can do that with a filter
Yeah.
at this point.
Another
Maybe
favorite.
it's, you know what the other possibility is for why he's shaking? It could be thundering. Was it supposed to be, do we know if the weather was, if some kind of storm was in the works? No?
No.
No? Okay.
Zero precipitation in the last 24 hours.
My favorite new item in the shop is the In Therapy hat.
It
Shouts
looks
to
good.
Ricky Prosper, by the way. It was a design that was done by him. I'm in therapy, obviously, and it's funny to me. It's a tight hat. So go get yourself one at bolenmedia.com/shop. We've also got a Horny for Sunsets shirt. I talked recently about how I was horny for sunsets. Become more and more enamored with them as I've grown older. Come to appreciate them more. The different nature of each sunset, the coloring, how it changes over the span of minutes as you watch one take place. I've got a great sunset watching spot behind my house. That's part of why this is happening.
You ever see the green flash?
And they arouse me is the other side of it. I become diamond rock hard. No, that's in Alaska, right?
No.
No, that's the Northern Lights.
The green flash is a maritime thing. It's
Maritime?
when the
Are you trying to say
sun
maritime?
sets over the water.
Do you say maritime? Like Mary had a little lamb time?
Why do you care?
Because it's maritime, like a maritime lawyer.
Maritime. Marine time. Short for that, maybe. It's when the sun sets over the water and a green flash appears. Nobody knows why. Nobody knows if it even exists. There's a brewery called Green Flash Brewing. Fun fact.
My computer died. Oh, no, it didn't. It's back. That's good. Anyway, Horny for Sunsets as well at bolenmedia.com/shop. Bruce is doing better. For everybody who wanted an update, he appears to have stopped shaking, although he is still sitting in my lap like a cat, which is funny because he's a dog. He's a dog. A lot of great merch at bolenmedia.com/shop. Again, shouts to my wife for getting that up. And we're going to have more coming soon. Jared and I are both separately working on RBP and OCC and Formula Bone designs for everybody who's a Formula Bone fan. And speaking of clothing, today's RBP is brought to you by Indochino. Whether you're going to be a groom in a wedding party or a lucky guest, everyone wants to look their best for a wedding. And with a custom-fitted suit from Indochino, you look great, feel confident, and enjoy the big day without fussing over your clothes. Choose every detail on a suit, dinner jacket, and more. At affordable prices that may surprise you for fully custom pieces, they're incredible. I can tell you personally, the Indochino experience is awesome. Whether you go to one of their into one of their showrooms in person and get measured up, or you do it from home, measure yourself, and use their website. I've done both things now. When I went to the Indochino in Austin for the first time, it was incredible, really great. But my most recent order, I did through the internet, got measured up myself at home, and checked out all their wares strictly online, and it was awesome. Many of you complimented me on my green Indochino suit when I've put up pictures on social media. I did one of our episodes wearing the suit. It's a personal favorite. Love it. And every Indochino suit is made just for you. It's a tailored experience at a great price. Design a look that suits you perfectly. From the fabric to the cut, shop their made-for-you cuts starting at just $4.49, and premium fitted shirts starting at just $89. Get a premium personalized wardrobe without spending a fortune. Shop custom fitted shirts, casual wear, outerwear, and more. They're always adding new designs and fabric options like their latest fall collection, ready to elevate your look even further. Indochino lets you make any suit a tux as well, if you need to. If you got a big day coming up, getting the perfect look is no big deal with Indochino. Design your perfect suit with Indochino to get $50 off any purchase of $3.99 or more. That's $50 off. Use code RBP at Indochino.com. That's INDOCHINO. Indochino.com, promo code RBP for $50 off. And the biggest news of the week, to true crime fans anyway, Adnan Syed, the focal point of the very famous Serial podcast hosted by Sarah Koenig, has been freed after 23 years in prison. The man that had me saying Melkimp, because they had the MailChimp ads where they said Melkimp back on the original run of Serial. For months, I was running around saying that. Serial was also the first podcast I ever listened to. Ever. It got me into podcasting, really. Got millions of people into podcasting, and almost single-handedly, with Joe Rogan, I guess, made this medium mainstream to the masses. It had existed for years and years, and Serial, along with like a couple other really shining stars like Joe Rogan, really brought it to the masses. In a lot of ways, you could partially credit the wrongful imprisonment of Adnan Syed for my career.
That's a stretch.
What's a joke?
This is the craziest thing to happen to Serial since Captain Crunch was caught having sex with Tony the Tiger in the Keebler Elf tree.
I made a joke on Twitter yesterday, but surely Adnan and Sarah Koenig bone, right?
I don't...
Right?
I mean, I don't know if...
They surely had phone sex.
I think they monitor
You
that.
listen, they had that connection.
Do they monitor that? Because you know how you're allowed to have a conjugal visit? Can you have a conjugal
It was all
phone
recorded,
sex?
but I mean, she's the recorder. Oh, yeah. Are you asking if prison inmates have phone sex? Oh, yeah.
But they can't just whack it in the little phone area, can they?
Define can. They do.
Okay.
I'm quite certain of it. They whack it everywhere, dude. You got to whack it like you're just constantly whacking it in prison. There's nothing else to do. You know when you're bored as a little kid, as a teenager, when you first discovered whacking it, and that's like 70% of your active energy is used on that activity? It's like that in the can. I can tell from experience, dude. I was just, man, doing hard time, 3 days, Harris County, just masturbating the entire time.
Is that why they call it hard time?
Yep, because you're hard most of the time. 70% of it, in fact.
Is it true that they put out a new episode of Serial today? Or
yes.
Did you listen yet?
No, fuck no, dude. I don't have time for that shit. No, I'm definitely going to listen. Dude, like, so my brother, just as an example of like how people are reacting to this, he like texted the family group text first thing this morning, like sent us a link to the episode, was like, this is unbelievable. He was so like blown away by the story. Obviously, it is a crazy, crazy story. I'll share some of it from the Baltimore Sun. Adnan Syed, the man whose legal saga spawned the hit podcast Serial, walked away from a Baltimore courthouse Monday free of shackles. After 23 years, Baltimore Circuit Judge Melissa Finn overturned Syed's murder conviction in the 1999 killing of Hyman Lee after prosecutors raised doubts about his guilty...
I'm just going to stop you right there.
Yeah.
Please say Hyman Lee.
Hyman Lee?
Not Hyman Lee.
Oh, I thought it was Hyman Lee. Hyman Lee? Hey?
It's not Hyman.
Hey. Her name was her name
Heyman.
wasn't Hyman.
No.
All right, I apologize. Obviously,
Please respect
Heyman Lee.
the dead.
Heyman Lee. But raised doubts about the guilty finding because of his revelation of an alternative of alternative suspects in the homicide and unreliable evidence used against him at trial, which were the obvious things that they pointed out in the podcast that were like, how is this man convicted? It wasn't even so much like did he do it or didn't he do it? It was like, how the hell did he get convicted based off of this evidence?
Yeah.
This is insane. Back to the article. Saying her ruling was in the, quote, interest of justice and fairness, end quote, Finn ordered Syed placed on home detention wearing a GPS monitor, like my dog Bruce, while Baltimore State's Attorney Marilyn Mosby's office chooses whether to drop his charges or try him again for murder in his ex-girlfriend's death. Prosecutors have 30 days to make that decision. Dressed in a white suit and black tie, or white shirt and black tie, excuse me, Syed smiled while descending the courthouse steps.
Imagine wearing a white suit.
This is such a. It would be a real statement, Jared, a fashion statement. Like
White
look,
suit
like
to court.
you know, like clean and free at last. You know what I mean?
Like some jackass, like fucking going to prom.
like a fresh start, dude. You just look like a fresh
a
start.
new start.
White shirt, black tie. He smiled while descending the courthouse steps to the raucous cheers of supporters, family, and friends. He did not speak to reporters on his way out of court, but his attorney, Eric Salter, recalled her client telling her, quote, he couldn't believe it's real after Finn's ruling. Yeah, I mean, dude, 23 years is a really long time. I mean, obviously we have a lot of stories in the United States of wrongful imprisonment and convictions being overturned and shining a further light on just how ridiculously messed up our justice system is. So it's not like Adnan is a one-of-a-kind story.
It's great. 23.
But his
so-
story is one of
yeah.
a kind in that it spawned the largest podcast to ever exist or whatever. And
Joe Rogan podcast?
is one of the most talked about true crime stories in history.
23 years. It's crazy to think that Adnan Syed has been in jail longer than Leonardo DiCaprio's current girlfriend has been alive.
Is he already find a new one?
Rumor has it it's actually one of the Hadids who is like 27. So
That's interesting. But he may be trying to cover for himself at this point because all the memes. You got to do something if you're him at this point to counter the accusations of 25 and at least raise it up to like 27, 28. Try to do something. You know?
yeah.
Make some progress, guy. Bump it up to 30. Really take a shot there, you know? If I was Adnan, I'd be playing Sia's Bird Set Free on repeat for like 48 hours a day in a filthy sex romp with Sarah Koenig. That'd just be my personal decision making. I don't know. If she's married, by the way, I take all this back.
She probably is.
But if she's not, I mean, this is an obvious match made in heaven. You know? Just saying. Maybe she's polyamorous. People are really forward thinking these days with their sexual relationships. Take a second husband, Queen Sarah. Young Adnan. Anyway, that got me thinking about, like, if I was Adnan, what would be my celebratory playlist? Like, what songs should he be listening to right now to celebrate his freedom? And I put together a solid little playlist here.
Okay.
Do you want to hear some of the tracks?
I do.
Do you have some tracks, some good songs for Adnan?
I have literally one, and it's tough because I'm still trying to actually find the name
We'll
of
put
it.
this on Spotify. It'll be called Adnan Syed's Freedom Playlist. All right? My first song is Bob Marley Redemption Song. Good vibes, right? You don't want to go.
Redemption song.
But I'm not saying this should all be soft. Like my next song is NWA Fuck the Police. Right?
Okay.
Because you got to go hard too. You got to come out with some fucking edge to you, right? You've done 23 years in the clink. And it's because of the police.
That's true.
Or, you know, those associated with the police. Government. Right?
Mine is, you ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
You have one song for Adnan? That's it? That's all you got out of you?
This is
One
the main
song for
one.
Adnan Syed?
The main one. By far. I think it's by George Michael. And I can't sing it because I have no voice. But you know.
You have to try now.
Okay. Frida.
Oh, man, you really can't sing right. Jared, you usually have the voice of an angel.
You gotta get to what you say. You know that song?
No. Jesus. Next, Tom Petty, Free Fallin'. Or not Free Fallin', that's not the right song. What's the one that's like, and I'm free? Yeah, that's Free Falling.
What the fuck?
Yeah, Free
Yes.
Falling. And I'm free.
Sounds more like this. Sounds more like this.
Falling.
And I'm free.
Sweet Jesus. Sounds like a dying cat.
I'll sing the next one that you have on here. Just a small town girl.
Journey's Don't Stop Believing, Jared, because he never stopped believing. And when he was in the prison.
I don't know. He literally said he couldn't believe it's real. He might have stopped believing.
But we didn't stop believing.
No, we
Serial
didn't.
fans, you know? We really did our part. We listened to the podcast. And we made this happen together. We collectively, you know how many fucking people are walking around today going, I manifested this.
A lot. Too many.
I manifested this.
Steve-
I freed Adnan Syed.
Steve Miller Band, Fly Like an Eagle.
Lil Wayne, Let It All Work Out. Let's throw Fleetwood Mac Dreams in there for good measure. It's just a feel-good song.
How is it?
It's just, that's what you,
No.
it's a great, look, he missed that TikTok, man. So he's got to get this. He's got to get all the spins in. He's got
How
to
is
catch
that
up.
a feel-good song?
You have to hear it to be a part of the rest of the civilization again and rejoin society. You have to hear that song at least 50,000 times before you can be like the rest of us again. Because that's where we're at. We had to hear it for fucking a whole summer.
Yeah, Dreams is not a feel-good song. It's a breakup song.
They used him to sell cranberry juice.
It's true.
What are you on your period? My girlfriend drinks that when she's on her period. It's from The Departed.
Who are you being, Matt Damon?
No, it's this Boston gangster who says that to Leonardo DiCaprio to take it back to Leo, and then Leo breaks a glass on his head.
Matt Damon.
I could do the whole scene for you right now,
Right,
but
do
I'll
it.
spare you
Do it.
all
No,
that.
do it. I actually don't believe you.
No, I can't do the whole scene.
I knew
but
you
I could
could.
do a little bit.
Do a little bit.
No, I don't want to do a little
Okay,
bit.
so
It's more of an
you're a liar.
embarrassment.
You're
I'm
a fucking
embarrassed.
liar.
I'm too nervous. I can't do it.
Just try
I don't want to do
The
it.
people
It's
all
more that I don't
are-
want to do it.
The people are all wondering now. Just start. Just go.
He's like, that's not quite a guy you can't hit, but I'm going to make a fucking ruling. You don't fucking hit him. Oh, the first part is he's like, you know who I am? And he says, yeah. And he's like, good. Or no, he says, no, I don't know who you are. And then he says, I'm the guy who tells you who you can hit. Damn it. All right, I can't do the scene, Jared. Fine. I'll go back and watch The Departed again tonight. It's been a really long time since I've seen it.
Oh, fuck.
Why don't you bring up another obscure YouTube video nobody's ever seen?
I'm good.
What other songs you got?
Okay. Well, you didn't even acknowledge "Fly Like an Eagle." I think that's a great freedom song.
Like Fly Like an Eagle to the Sea? The
Yeah.
R. Kelly song?
No, not the R. Kelly song.
Putting another guy in prison?
Steve Miller Band.
Trying to keep with the prison theme? I think he got convicted again. He was already doing like 34 years.
He
and
did.
He's getting more tacked on.
He did. The Star Spangled Banner. Played in reverse.
Oh, fuck. That's edge.
That's fucking edgy.
Right there.
What would that sound like?
Yeah.
You pull that up?
That's what it would sound like.
What if you play the Star Spangled Banner backwards, and it says something like one of those Led Zeppelin songs?
Did you ever play a record backwards to try to figure this out? I did. Does it sound like the devil if you turn it upside down or whatever?
Well, no, there's some. Yeah, like
What was the guy that Ozzy Osbourne didn't he have, like wasn't there, you know?
there was Led Zeppelin songs. There was the Beatles songs.
Did you ever listen to Dark Side of the Moon and watch The Wizard of Oz?
I think you're mixing things together.
What are the two things?
There's like the Oompa Loompa hanging in the background.
No, what? Dude?
Yeah.
Nah, you you start Dark Side of the Moon right as you start Wizard of
I
Oz.
say Oompa Loompa. I meant Munchkin. Is that offensive?
are you on,
Is that
bro?
offensive?
Saying Munchkin?
No, I got them confused.
Or Oompa Loompa? You think you're offending the fucking Oompa Loompas by calling them Oompa Loompas?
No, offending
this is
the
like white people
Munchkins
being
by calling
scared to
them
call
Oompa
black
Loompas.
people black people.
I called a Munchkin and Oompa Loompa.
That is offensive for sure. Yeah, you're not allowed to do that. I don't think. Speaking of which, there was a little person just mixed into this band in the most recent episode of House of the Dragon. It's just kind of weird. I don't know what is the association with the medieval stuff. Little people seem to get cast a lot in medieval themed movies and TV shows.
Not
That's my observation.
As somebody who's watched a lot of medieval themed things, I think you're allowed to make that observation.
Yeah, it's a little weird. a little odd to me. I would like an explanation from Hollywood on behalf of all the little people. You know, of course. Anyway, I think that's a good playlist for Adnan Syed's prison release. So we'll put that on. I'll put that on Spotify for y'all. I'll do that for you.
No, you won't.
And for Adnan.
No, you fucking
Hashtag free Adnan. What's the name of the chick who did a whole bunch of stuff to get him free? That's not Sarah Koenig, obviously. Like the woman who was advocating for him. Didn't you follow Serial pretty closely?
won't. Yeah, I don't remember. I remember the chick from Making a Murder.
You don't give a shit about justice, do you, Jared?
She was cool.
Making a Murder.
Yeah, remember that chick, the lawyer from Chicago? She was cool.
Oh, that came in and kind of made stuff happen?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to find her name. I follow her on social media.
I believe Christina Gutierrez was the name of the lawyer who was now being judged to have been insufficient counsel.
Yeah, she stunk.
She was bad.
Not good.
And then she died like 6 months later or some shit.
Not good. Anyway, do you think he did it?
It doesn't matter whether I think he did. It's whether he should have been convicted.
I think we can all agree on that, though. Now, the real question becomes, do you think he did it?
I think Jay either did it.
They apparently have some good suspects, yeah.
Well, Jay literally knew where the car was.
Jay's a problem. So is the guy who reported the body and then was never questioned, really. That guy's a problem, too. There are some problems. There was a lot of problems. This entire case was a
Jay
friggin'
knew
mess.
where the car was. At the very least, Jay either did it or he's an accomplice, and he's been out free this whole time. Like,
which is it's crazy. The whole thing was crazy. That's what made the podcast so good, right? Listening to it was unbelievable. You're just like, how is this possible? All these true crime things that end up shining a light on the issues with the justice system are unbelievable in their own way.
And
because you're just like, how could this possibly happen? Same thing with
I know how it could possibly
Making a
happen.
Murderer and Mind Over Murder on Netflix.
it's no coincidence that all these crime dramas take place in Baltimore.
That's true. That's true,
We
man.
own this city, The Wire.
Bodymore's wild, dude. You got to be careful out there. Maryland.
My parents met in Baltimore.
No shit.
Yeah. City of crabs.
Today's episode is also brought to you by Liquid IV. Playing is obviously important. I myself play basketball alone in the driveway and pretend it's the fourth quarter of the NBA Finals and the clock is winding down.
You're swagless on the b-ball court.
No, that's not true. But playing ensures you don't lose your mind, right? Fuel your play with Liquid IV for hydration that's 2 times faster than water alone because life is better when you're hydrated. Again, just 1 packet of Liquid IV and 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. It contains 5 essential vitamins, B3, B5, B6, B12, and vitamin C with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks.
You sunk my battleship.
And Liquid IV has 10 refreshing flavors like Concord, grape, lemon, lime, pina colada, and tropical punch, non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy. I drink Liquid IV before pretty much every podcast we record, after workouts or runs, or when I just feel like I haven't had enough water that particular day and could use an extra hydration boost. Grab your Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco or get 15% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code ROSS at checkout. That's 15% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code ROSS, R-O-S-S, at liquidiv.com. So I was in my backyard this past weekend while you were out screaming at an orgy or whatever you did that caused your voice to sound like it does now. And I looked over the fence line and there's a dude in all black garb with a fucking all black mask on covering his entire face with a gun in his hand. And I was like, well, that's mildly concerning. And as I've said, my house backs up to a park, basically. Let's just put it that way. It's the easiest way to, like a bunch of hiking trails and a shit ton of woods and forest and whatnot. And I walked over to get a little better view. And as I was letting my dog outside, Harvey's just going ape shit, this 90-pound Doberman full sprint over to the fence, barking at this dude who's 3 feet outside the fence line and is completely unfazed. He doesn't break focus at all. And he seems to be crouching down in the bushes. And that's when I realized, oh my God, this dude is paintballing.
When's the last time you went paintballing, Ross?
When I was in high school, I think, early, maybe freshman year, because in middle school, a lot of my friends would have paintball parties for their birthdays. And paintballing is fun as shit, but it is also like, I mean, it gets crazy out there. There are people who take it super, super, super serious. And it hurts if you get popped like hard as hell, right? you get those little bruises or whatever. People would like show up
Welts.
to welts on their skin at school. So it's been a long time since I went. It's really fun. We should go at some point. Do like a Bolen Media team building experience on the paint. I just want to light you up, Jared. That's what I want to do.
Just hit my tight little
I want to
ass.
light you up till you're on your knees crying with your head between your legs, and that's when I come over and spank your tight little ass. Anyway, so it's been a long time since I went paintballing. And I'm looking at this dude, and I'm starting to piece together what's happening, right? So I'm like, oh shit. And the more I think about it, I'm like, this is a perfect paintballing place. But I'm also like, well, I was about to take out the splash pad and like bring my stepdaughter out here and play with her. And I don't know if are we about to be hit by like stray fire? He's right outside the fucking fence. He's right there. I'm like, what is this? Do they think this is okay? So I tried to make it very known that I was out there, like standing out there awkwardly shirtless, looking like a scarecrow. Just like, look at me, I'm the old dude who owns this house, please fuck off, teenagers. They're clearly like, 16, 17 years old, right? High school kids. And I think there was at least 10 of them out there going at it. And I mean, in full garb, using military slang, like throwing, and in the age of the school shooting, I was like, this doesn't feel entirely comforting. But all things aside, I'd prefer they be doing this to many other things. It seems like a healthy hobby if monitored correctly, right? And the thing I couldn't figure out is at one point I was like, I see why they're comfortable playing right here, because they're not paintballing. These are airsoft guns. But I had a bunch of airsoft guns when I was in high school when they got real hot. When airsoft shit took over, man, it was not good. Just from like a societal standpoint, it was probably not good.
You'll shoot your eye out.
Yeah, and a lot of eyes got lost, dude. And this did not sound like that. It sounded like a paintball gun. So maybe airsoft has just developed even further into a new realm that I don't even know about. But these were clearly not paintball guns in the end. And they weren't shooting paintballs, which is why these kids were fine with being as close as they were to us. And I'm not quite sure what the situation was, but it was bizarre. And like I said, there was about 10, 15 of them, and they were out there like being like, left flank. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
you know what?
I don't know any military terms.
Maybe it was a combination. So airsoft, paintballs. Maybe they were shooting air balls like you were this morning on the basketball court.
Oh, wow. Why are you always shitting on my game, bro?
Because you're not wet. You're fucking dry. You're drier than the Sahara.
I haven't seen you take a single jump shot in the however long you've worked here.
It's fucking
It's insulting.
I'm full
You've
of
never even
swag.
gone out there and touched the court, Jared, and yet you will bite my game.
I can dunk.
You cannot dunk. If we should do a dunk contest one day. Lower the rim all the way. We can lower that thing. Throw down.
Cade would whoop our ass.
But I recently talked on Patreon with Barrett Dudley, my co-host on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, the #1 House of the Dragon podcast in the realm, about how it felt like when we were little kids, when me and him were growing up in the late 90s, little kids, right? Like when we were, 10, 12 years old, before high school even. That in Houston, at least, in Houston, Texas, in the suburbs, we like, you could, that's not even true. Even inside the loop. In Houston, central Houston, in the late 90s, you could still like run around in the neighborhoods and like go get crazy and shit. And like there were neighborhood crews was our conversation. Like it felt like there was little kids out and about in every neighborhood.
Like Terry
playing.
Crews lived in your neighborhood?
No, not Terry Crews, office linebacker. But it was, it was like, that was our conversation. And this kind of made me feel like, okay, maybe it's not quite as dead as I thought it was. Maybe it was like the pandemic and me not seeing many kids out because of the pandemic for a couple years there that made me feel like neighborhoods were getting like less friendly, which is always the thing people talk about. You can't even you got to lock your doors now. We used to leave our doors unlocked. It's like, why do you have doors with locks on them if you're not going to lock them? Come on, let's be safe. It takes you 1 second, just flip the switch. Anyway, I just thought it was interesting. These kids going at it, dude. What did you do when you were in middle school as a hobby?
We did have airsoft for about a year.
Did you play, though? Or did you airsoft it up?
Yeah, I wasn't very good.
What was you just play like paintball kind of? Eliminate the teams?
We had a friend who had like a property that had like some woods on it and stuff. You just run around, have teams run around. But there's only like 6 of us.
Did you wear goggles?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, my eyes shot out.
No. Fuck that.
But then it's just like the amount of litter that airsoft creates is concerning. Think about how much
you can't pick those up.
Non-degradable plastic nobody picks up
Just
afterwards.
all over the place, man.
Bad.
It's everywhere. Everywhere.
'Cause you're everywhere to me. Okay.
God, we got to cut you off from singing until you can fully recover your voice. It's just too abysmal. It's brutal. Today's episode is also brought to you by Felix Gray Glasses. 5 years ago, Felix Gray set out to create eyewear that would improve daily screen time, and since then, Felix Gray has been on a mission to create a better relationship with technology, filtering out 15 times more light that can make screen time tough on eyes and disruptive to sleep. I've been working on the internet for over a decade now. I spend like 10 hours a day staring at screens. My phone, my laptop, my car has a giant screen in it, for frick's sake. So when I discovered Felix Gray, everything changed, because when I'm done with work, I like to relax by watching my favorite TV shows and movies and gaming, all of which involve screens as well. These glasses are the quality of designer frames. It's not some cheap blue light coating painted over them that's going to chip off. That never happens. No chipping, no cheapness, just incredible quality designer frames that are stylish and functional as they protect your eyes from all the blue light that the screens we rely upon emit. It's hard to cut back on screen time if you're like me, but you can do your eyes a solid. Get yourself some Felix Grays to get relief from those headaches, dry eyes, blurry vision, and what have you that occurs over the course of your workday. I've got a lot of pairs, probably like 6, but my favorite frames are the Faraday, the Nash, and the West for you to check out. Use our URL, felixgrayglasses.com/RBP, to support the show and get free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges, non-prescription and prescription available. Check them out now, felixgrayglasses.com/RBP. That's FELIXGRAY glasses.com/RBP for free shipping, free returns, and free exchanges. International Talk Like a Pirate Day was yesterday, Jared.
Uh-huh. I mean, yar.
Yar, but we missed it. We missed it. Yeah, I know.
What's another word, landlubber?
That's so it turns out International Talk Like a Pirate Day is a parodic holiday.
Why are you an Irish pirate?
Created in 1995 by John Bauer and Mark Summers of Albany, Oregon, who proclaimed September 19th each year as the day when everyone in the world should talk like a pirate. Arr. I don't really know what else to do except talk
Irish.
to make my voice sound as much like I've lost it like you as possible, and then also throw like some R's in there.
Ahoy, matey.
Ahoy, matey.
We'll throw you in the brig if you don't touch my poop deck.
Check the bowl.
Check the stern.
Check my bowels.
Check the stern, first mate, landlubber.
Let's go below the poop deck and what did the...
Let's scrub the poop deck.
I know we talked about this, and obviously Our Flag Means Death has addressed it in pop culture, but it is shocking to me that it took me into my 30s before I thought about how many pirates were probably gay. It's crazy that I took that long to make the realization. Like, it's a whole bunch of dudes on a ship for a very extended period of time by choice, you know? Like the Navy.
Yar.
Yar! Back to the pirate voices. Just kidding about the Navy.
Ahoy.
Thank you for your service.
Landlubber.
Navy guy.
First mate.
Girl.
Poop deck.
Or whatever.
Cannon.
Cannon.
Oh, what do they call the bridge? Arr.
To the bridge,
To the
matey.
bridge, matey.
Walk the plank.
That's a
Walk
good
the
one.
gangplank.
That's a good one.
Yar. Load the cannons. Yar. Load the cannons. Hoist the... What do they hoist?
Mast.
Hoist the stuff. Come on, lads. Hoist the stuff.
Captain, what do you want me to hoist, Captain? You're not being very clear.
Just the stuff.
I don't know
lad.
what that is.
Hoist the stuff, lad. Do it now. And then swab the poop deck while you're at it. Yar.
For two very different orders. I can't do those at the same time.
Do them in whichever order ye prefers. Yar. That's the other thing. You say a lot of yees and yeah. It's like, talk like Viserys from House of the Dragon. He talks like a fucking pirate. Nobody knows why. So do the vampires from What We Do in the Shadows. Yees. They use the yees and the yars. Anyway, we missed International Talk Like a Pirate Day. That was the only...
You do yees. You do yars. You know what I do?
Hmm.
You, soldier boy, tell him.
Oh my God.
You.
Now you're cut off. No more singing, Jared. If you haven't gotten the message yet, if you're watching House of the Dragon, which you should be, it's been phenomenal halfway through season 1. We have a companion podcast here at Bolen Media called Oysters, Clams, and Cockles. It is our largest existing podcast. It's very big that we started back in season 6 of Game of Thrones. It picked up a ton of fans, and as such serves as the largest opportunity for Bolen Media to grow in these little pockets of time with House of the Dragon. which is a large part of the reason Jared and I have been spread so thin and focused on the other opportunities that we have here at our company, our small business in Austin, Texas, because we're trying to capitalize as much as we can in two spaces. One with Oysters, Clams, and Cockles and House of the Dragon, but also with Jared in his first full season of F1 operating Formula Bone.
Yeah, I don't know if people know this. So we need to make money to live.
It's true. It is a business. It is a company. So that I know a lot of you are like, why isn't there more RBP? Why isn't Jared always there? And trust me, like we hear you and we understand, but it's the nature of the business, and we have to make decisions responsibly as a company based on what makes us the most money. And while RBP is still the financial backbone of this company, as I've said, during these small pockets of time, particularly with OCC and House of the Dragon, I mean, it's so big. We do really well with it, and it's obviously a much larger audience than RBP is.
Yes.
And for that reason, we can capture a lot more fans, bring in more listeners to RBP. I'm sure there are some of you here today that are here. If you're here today for the first time and you came as a result of Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, please stand up right now. Just stand up and let us recognize you if you would. If you would. Stand, please. Stand in the pew. Just in the pew right there where you are. Just stand right there.
Please clap.
And everybody clap and welcome them. Welcome to the Ross Bolen podcast. This is it's our comedy show here at Bolen Media, and we really enjoy it. Also, you may have heard me mention Formula Bone. That's our F1 show here at Bolen Media, hosted by the other voice you've heard today, except it's normally not so terrible. It's normally quite nice. It's Jared Borislow.
Should I try to do a J-Bone? J-Bone!
Yeah, oh, it's too depressing. I'll give him a good one. J-Bone! That way it's not so sad.
Another peek behind the
But
curtain.
Formula Bone available wherever. Formula Bone F1 show available wherever you listen to RBP.
OCC is in season with a Game of Thrones show, for 2.5 months every...
Got 5 more weeks.
2.5 months every 2 years?
Yeah, 2024 will be the next time this happens. So it's not like y'all have to worry about me being so focused elsewhere.
Yes.
All of the time. It's this 10-week stretch that I got to get through, and so far we've done pretty well. I think we've been putting out good shows here at RBP still, and Jared's been crushing F-Bone, so I think we've done well with the very again, for those of you who if you want an idea of what happens over here, how does this get produced and made, and there's 3 of us that are here full time, and it's me and Jared, who's in the studio with me right now, and then Cade Orris, who helps produce and does a lot of producing for OCC and Patreon episodes and such. But Jared is serving as the producer when we're doing RBP pretty much all the time. Jared produces his own Formula Bone shows. Cade cuts all the clips for social media and helps us with a ton of marketing stuff, cuts some of the episodes for me. Like, as an example, did the mental health minisode that I recorded yesterday for patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast. And that's it. My wife sells our ads, works part-time on the stuff, but she's pregnant. She just got around to putting up a bunch of our new merch on bolenmedia.com/shop. Again, hit bolenmedia.com/shop for merch for all of our brands, not just RBP, also Formula Bone, OCC, etc. So yeah, we're a very small team, and that's the way it is, man. That's how it goes with the startup life and the grind that we've chosen.
And you.
Sometimes that comes with sacrifices, Jared.
And you, the listener. If you're just not realizing, holy shit, it's just 3 fucking dudes in Austin, Texas doing all this shit full time. This is their job. I wonder how I can support them.
Grinding.
Well, you can go to patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast, where not only are you supporting us, but you're also getting more RBP every single week.
As I've said, right now, if you're only listening to our ad-based shows here on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening, then you're only getting half the RBP that actually gets put out, as I do an ad-free episode that comes out typically on Fridays, right there on patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast, which are really fun. J-Bone, I hope, will be joining me again this week. I haven't actually confirmed that with you, but I hope you will. On patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast. G just shook his head, so it seems like a maybe. I'm going to take that as a maybe. And if you listen to Jack Johnson, maybe usually means no.
I'll be there, bitch.
Wow.
I did a Bone Zone last week.
Only if you can recover your voice more. I can't deal with you singing again if it's going to be like this.
I did a Bone Zone last week.
Follow Jared on Twitter and Instagram at Jared Borislow. We did do a Bone Zone on patreon.com/Ross Bolen.
You were
do it together.
No,
I'm there.
I did it.
I'm part of it.
You're there.
I'm asked to participate a little, very small amount, and then you cut me off and play sound effects.
I muted you at one point.
And you turned off my microphone entirely. It was a total shit show. Patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast. Jared Borislow at Jared Borislow on Twitter and Instagram. I am Ross Bolen at WR Bolen on Twitter and Instagram. We are on TikTok at the Ross Bolen Podcast, on Instagram at the Ross Bolen Podcast, on Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod, and again, bolenmedia.com/shop to check out all the new merch. Please support our sponsors. That is also how our business works, if you weren't aware. If you skip through the ads or you don't listen to them or you never support any of the sponsors by using the codes, then we definitely don't get paid. So we appreciate you for supporting the sponsors and going to Patreon if it so pleases you, my lords and ladies. Until next time, peace be with you and also with you.